Hi, my dear lovers of astrological extremes. Today, we're bringing the fire. We've collected a dozen signs after which, in 90% of cases, normal people switch to grab your legs and run without looking back mode. And yes, this is all about Pisces. But wait, the most important part comes at the end. Because while you're laughing and typing in the comments, that's totally my ex. At some point, a sudden realization will hit you. Damn, but that's exactly what I do. And that's where it gets really delicious. Ready to laugh at others, and then unexpectedly at yourself, then hit like in advance. Turn on the notifications. And let's dive into this aquarium of pain and self-irony. Let's start with the way they say, "I'm not offended," in the tone of an insulted drama queen. When Pisces utter the sacred phrase, "I'm not offended," it always sounds as if someone has just crushed their favorite crystal dream with a heel and then sprinkled salt on top. The voice drops half a tone lower than usual. A velvety tragic vibration appears, and the look in their eyes is a mix of a wounded queen and a kitten that hasn't been fed for 3 days. You hear those words and instantly understand. Act 2 of the great tragedy called "I Didn't Say Anything Wrong" is about to begin. It's already too late to run. Moving on. About 40 seconds after "everything's fine," they start a sentence with "I was just thinking." This is the classic Pisces delayed action timer. First you get a cheerful "everything's fine," calm voice, almost relaxed face, even a slight smile, which is the most dangerous part. You relax. You think, "Thank God, that was close." And then it happens. Quietly, almost in a whisper, with a slight pause before each word. "I was just thinking." After these 3 words, it's over. What follows is a 7 to 40-minute monologue where "I was just thinking" smoothly turns into "actually, I've been carrying this inside for 3 days. Maybe I'm just not important to you," and ends with the final chord. But you wouldn't understand anyway. And yes, Pisces can stay silent for 3 weeks and then suddenly say, "I thought you would understand why I was hurt." This is no longer just being offended. This is an Olympic sport called the silent telepathic thriller. 3 weeks is the perfect time. And then, on day 22, when you've almost forgotten you even had a Pisces girlfriend, boyfriend, or friend, a message arrives, or a call, or, the cruelest option, a face-to-face confrontation. Time freezes. You stand there like a deer in headlights, desperately trying to remember what even happened 3 weeks ago. And Pisces look at you as if you personally murdered their inner unicorn, and then laughed at the body. The key moment. They genuinely believed that during those 21 days you were supposed to understand the reason for their silence, repent on your own, invent the perfect apology, show up with flowers, a blanket, and full awareness of the depth of your guilt. Didn't come? Then you don't feel, don't understand, and don't care. Let's continue. They ask, "What are you thinking about?" when you've just been staring at the wall for 17 seconds. This is the classic Pisces empty mind detector. You're sitting there, brain on power saving mode, eyes fixed on a spot on the wallpaper/ceiling/nothingness. Exactly 12 to 20 seconds of total inner emptiness pass. And suddenly, a quiet but extremely attentive voice next to you. "What are you thinking about right now?" At this moment, a normal person enters panic mode. "I've been caught," because the honest answer is nothing, just resting. But saying that to Pisces is like spitting into their sacred aquarium of deep meanings. So you mumble something poetic, while Pisces look at you with gentle, almost maternal sadness. "I can feel it, you're hiding something. Run," before the interrogation begins. Another favorite. They say, "I don't need anything," and then sadly stare at the empty shelf in the fridge. Moral. When Pisces say, "I don't need anything," it means I urgently need everything, and preferably you should figure it out yourself. Because if I say it out loud, the magic disappears, and the empty fridge shelf is their personal memorial to your lack of attentiveness. A monument, with a plaque. Care could have been here. And of course, their favorite game. What if he guesses that I feel bad? Spoiler, no one ever does. This isn't just a hint. It's a full-blown quest in the genre Survive If You Can Read Minds. Pisces wake up in a bad mood, or just with a feeling that today should be dramatic. Instead of saying, "I'm sad, hug me," or at least "something's wrong," they activate invisible mind mode. Voice 30% quieter than usual. One word answers, well, I guesses. Eyes fixed on the floor. And they sit there, waiting for you. The great telepath, psychic, and detective all in one, to suddenly understand what happened. Reality spoiler: no one ever will. Now let's talk about being offended by a joke they themselves told a friend yesterday. This is peak Pisces duality, when yesterday your joke was cute and witty, and today it suddenly becomes, how could you say that? That's hurtful. Because a joke told to a friend is a safe zone of light teasing, but the exact same joke from you is already betrayal, a strike at the deepest wound, proof that you don't value her delicate emotional structure. There is no escape. All that's left is to accept that you will never repeat her jokes again, because only she is allowed to joke about herself. If your Pisces does this, you have very little time left. Imagine, evening, you're sitting there, everything seems calm, and suddenly she says the classic, "I don't need anything," in a flat, almost emotionless voice. You nod and go on with your business. 10 minutes later, you catch her in the kitchen, standing in front of the open fridge, staring at the empty shelf as if she's just learned the world is ending. Time's up. Now either you run for food at the speed of light, or prepare for a 3-day ice age accompanied by the phrase, "I told you I didn't need anything," on repeat. Salvation is unlikely. And finally, the scariest one of all, she looks at you with the eyes of a wounded fawn and quietly says, "It's okay. I'm used to not being understood." This is not just a phrase. This is the final boss of all Pisces techniques. A nuclear strike after which you can't justify yourself, joke it away, or switch to "come on, everything's fine." Her eyes are huge, shining, as if there's an entire lake of tears inside them, about to break the dam. No yelling, no accusations, not even a proper sigh. Inside you, everything freezes, because you suddenly realize she's not just offended. She has already given up. She has already buried your relationship in her mind, put up a cross, written the epitaph, "Here lies hope for mutual understanding," and even brought flowers to the grave. Even if you say something, it won't matter. In 5 minutes, she'll be sitting in the bathroom with her phone, typing in her notes, "I always knew I'd end up alone." We laughed, recognized ourselves in the sharpest moments, maybe even blushed a little from how accurate it was. But behind all this humor lies a very simple and honest truth. Most of these scary things aren't done because we want to torture others, but because we ourselves have long gotten used to the pain of being misunderstood. Look at this list again, calmly, without jokes. Which 2 to 3 points show up most often in your behavior? Not in X's, not in "all Pisces are like that," but in you, here and now. And the most important question after all the memes and laughter through tears: what are you ready to start changing in the next few days? Not becoming someone else, not fixing everything, but simply taking one small, conscious step, so your relationship stops turning into a quiet, exhausting war of unspoken words. Write to yourself, or right here, if you're brave enough, one single sentence: "I want to stop." That's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes about your sign. There's more to come.